and that's why they're trying to destroy them.
Wow. And how do you think the vice president of the United States is doing for the women empowerment and just in general? Are you proud, or you think it could be better? Or if you was a vice president, what would you change?
Here's the thing. I think the role of being a vice president, you get the title, but there's a lot of things that you cannot do.
Mm.
So I'm proud to have, as I said, to see somebody that looked like me over there. That makes me proud. Their choices that I may not agree with, their choice that I applaud, that are like, yes, I knew she would do that. We need to give it a time, because there's like, when my president, Barack Obama, was in power, not everybody agreed with certain choices he made. But history will tell that he was amazing.
No doubt. No, if Tommy was here, tell me what would be his position? Would he what would he think about the current president, vice president, or how did he feel about Obama? And did you ever meet Obama? I know that.
I wish, my gosh, I'm a huge, huge fan of Obama. It's just like, oh my gosh, and that family is so beautiful. It's just like, gosh, they're amazing. But Tommy, right before he passed, because that was the year that it was the election for, gosh, it was Hillary, right? And Donald
Yeah, and
Trump, and Trump won.
yeah.
And Tommy May, I remember, because I recently I posted a video of him telling people to go out and vote. And but I know that he would have been proud of the first family, the Obamas. He would be proud to see uh, the vice president being there. He would be proud of, I know he would have gone for Biden. I shouldn't say that, but because between what we had before and him, it's just like, and I know one thing that was very important to Tommy as well, and a lot of people don't really realize: voting. Guys, we need to get out as our people. We can make change. But a lot of times we just like, we become too comfortable, and we don't want to do what things that, like, so many people fought for that. Some people died so we could vote today. So yeah, he always played a big part of and that's like making sure that people knew how important it was to vote. Education was important and things like that.
Like you said, he was big with the youth. He always did things for them, and like I said, and everybody that I know knew him, and listening to you right now. I'm doing my homework. Only if I did it in school. He was just someone you can't replace. Did Tommy ever feel that the show followed him? That he couldn't outdo the
Yes,
Martin Shuttle? That he couldn't outlive? Everybody knew him as Tommy.
time, all the time. And here's the thing: because his name on the show was his real name, he never knew if he knew the person that was calling him out. Like, Tommy at the mall, and I kind of like, okay, who is that person? Do I know? Or is
Right.
It's funny because, like, after we started our relationship, and because I was wherever he was, I was there. I want to make sure. I always was supportive of the things he did. And then he was like, honey, who's that person? We go like, okay, baby, that one is the one you met that day. Remember? Or it's like, no, I have no idea. You just play along.
That's what I do. That's what I literally do. See, that's what you guys and you ladies you women are for, soulmates are for. You for keeping us, letting us know when our memory lost. Was you done? I know I cut you off. Was that it?
No, that was basically, yeah. He was, because he had the same name as he had on the show. It was very hard for him to know if he knew the people that were calling him out, or if he was just a fan. But he loved it. It was like anywhere he went, and everybody. I don't know how many times a day Tommy would say, "I got a job, dog." I don't know time a day.
Dope. That's dope because let me just tell you what you do. You just gave someone that grew up on the Martin show, and Tommy, I'm telling you, he was such a super part of it. The show, you just get, he didn't just, it wasn't just part of the his career. It was something he did every day. You say every day, you'll hear him say, "I got a job." So that lets you know that character plays a big part of him in his personal life,
Hmm.
and that's really dope to hear. Thank you for sharing that, and because I know
And
that's the first.
a
Go
lot of
ahead.
things that Tommy did, Tommy was on Harlem Nights. I don't know if everybody remember, but I think on his
Sure,
Harlem Nights,
sure,
his name was Tommy as well.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. He played in a number. He played on a lot of a few other shows and things like that and movies like that. 'Cause I know when I talked to him, he was saying how important that role is.
Yeah,
You
he
know,
loved it. Just like people called him, he was Tommy from Martin for he would be forever. And he loved it because, as I said, that gave him a platform to make people listen and for him to share other things because he had a bigger ministry that was empowering young people, empowering people wherever he went. And so he would use that. Okay, you call me Tommy from Martin. Okay, we're friends now. Now you listen what I have to say.
yeah, you will listen because he was a tall man. But I just don't think the fans and everybody knew just how really a great person he was off screen. We look at this person through our TV screen and things like that, but he was a real person. He was a, you know what I'm saying, a soulmate. He was a father, you know what I'm saying, and things like that.
One thing that I do want to point it out, Tommy is like his biggest pride of his whole life was being a father. Tommy did a lot of things in life, and he's just like he worked a lot, and he always wanted to make sure he left a legacy to his children. And I know on talking to his youngest son the other day, and we were sharing about the his father's life and the things that he did, and he was like, "Yeah, I remember." Tommy was a church guy, and when he was younger, he thought he was going to be a preacher before he thought he decided to become an actor. But and he always wanted to put that in his children's life to let them know, and also to encourage them to do things to change, to make a society a better place, better than when you came to. Um so yeah, but his biggest pride in life, he loved the Martin show, he loved the platform that he did, but his biggest pride was truly being a father, and his babies were like everything to him.
Sometimes, like I say, we get to know these people just as they character and
Hmm.
not just on a show and don't understand they have real lives. Okay.
The funny thing, when I met Tommy, I did not know. I'm not from this country, so the fans, please forgive me.
No
I
problem.
did not know who Tommy was. Like, okay, people say, okay, got no job, okay, so find a job.
Ask Cam.
But I had no idea who Tommy was. I was starting my acting, and I've been most of the TV that I watched was in Brazil. I'm a busy person. I'm always trying to do something. So
Right.
I realized who Tommy was when we were at a hair show here in Atlanta. And Tommy he's Achilles. He has tore his Achilles, and he couldn't walk. He was walking with a little walker, and at the air show, somebody else suddenly, "Yeah, Tommy from Martin," and then all these people all over us, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, he's really famous." There's I'm like, "Oh my gosh, who am I with? Who's this person?" Police had to actually escort us out of the place because he couldn't walk and we couldn't move. That's how many people was around us. Um, so to me, was easy to see Tommy for him because and for me it's like, yeah, I do want to get somewhere someday, but I will get there eventually. Tommy, there was something about him, the way he spoke to people, and the way I could just tell him, I don't agree with you, and he would try to explain, and because I'm kind of hard headed. Like if you say something I don't agree with, I'm not gonna agree with unless you give me a good reason to agree.
Right. Right.
So, um, but there was like, and that's when I saw there was a lot of things like that happened between, during the relationship that I saw, but I knew that he was doing his best to be in his children's life and things like that, and I understood because I saw his heart. He was like he had the most beautiful heart that you ever like in anybody. So yeah, that's why it was like for me it was seeing because I could see Tommy before I saw the famous person, and yeah, and he was a beautiful person.
Yeah, because for you to be with him and don't know his stature like that, and then you say out of nowhere, but Tyler, you got a job. You were like, wait, what job? And what are you talking about? And who are these people? Thank you for sharing that. That was
People would tell me, but like it's not like I'm gonna go watch TV and say, okay, let me see who these guys is. We
right.
were working. I worked in two of Tommy's project, and then we moving to the next one, and we were just doing things because Tommy was a doer. He was not a talker. We would say something, okay, let's go ahead and do it. So to me, it's the same thing, and to me, like when I saw the beautiful person that he was and the way he spoke to people, I was like, he can't be that famous because he's nice. I was like, what? Yeah, he famous people. They. I had that concept on my mind. If you're famous, if you have all that glamour around you, you're not gonna be a good. Not that you're not gonna be good. Be a good person, but you're not going to relate to people. And Tommy really, he actually proved me very wrong. So.
Celebrities do got bad, you know what I'm saying, reputations of being snotty and this and that, and the whole thing of being famous and having money. They put everybody in the same. And I know Tommy is one of those people that break the stereotypes, not just for black men and tall, powerful, alpha males. You know what I mean? He was definitely that, and his faith. I couldn't end this grateful talk with you to talk about his faith, like you mentioned. I remember telling my beautiful wife I gotta go do this interview with Tommy, old man from Marlin, and I left that interview feeling like I just came from church. It was just a powerful speaking about his faith and speaking about um the temptations in the industry. It was really, really powerful. Again, how much did faith play in Tommy later days after you know what I'm saying the modern role, and how much faith played in his life, and how much a struggle was it to be a man of faith, industry of devils?
Hmm. Well, one thing, another nugget for the fans. One thing that Tommy always says to me is that every time before each show, he would pray with the cast. He would start the show with a prayer before filming. Every time they were filming,
Wow,
um,
wow.
he would pray every time before he ate. He was such a faithful person, like and And I guess like when he passed, that's what I struggled with. I was like, God, how come there's so many bad people out there? Why Tommy? And if you know we need people like him down here, why would you take him? But that was Tommy's faith, not even my faith. It was Tommy's faith that actually it got me to kind of understand. Um, and I can't say accepted because I still have my days. I was like I get mad at God, I get mad at Tommy. Like okay, but Tommy's faith actually make me a lot of days like okay, there was a reason for this. Your time here maybe had we completed your chores. It's like sometimes I was thinking about this the other day. It was like it's like when you're school and I don't know if they do like in Brazil they did used to like if at the end of the class if you finish your homework first you get to go home earlier.
Mhm. Right.
And I believe Tommy finished his homework because he did everything. He gave everything he had. Everything. Like sometimes, most of the time, Tommy would be like, honey, tell me not to do this. And I would tell him, baby, don't do it. And then that's when he would just not. Like, there was a lot of, Tommy had to be somewhere every day. He had no day off. And a lot of times, like, he would be on the phone with somebody and he would be falling asleep because it's a friend trying to get things off their chest to him because he was like a listener. And I would have to say, baby, don't answer the phone. No, we're not doing this today. So the best days we had was the days that he was off. And we would do nothing. We would just wake up, watch TV, go sleep, wake up, watch TV. That was the fun day for us. So his faith was, yeah, it's I never seen somebody that had that much faith before, and beautiful, like caring, like praying before he ate, praying in the morning, and yes, I yeah, I have no words. It's just like it was amazing.
Was Tommy prisoner of fame, or was he free?
Ah, that's a good question. Um, I don't think he was a prisoner of fame. There are things that come with fame that you need to be aware of, but he always made sure he was very transparent. I haven't heard your interview. Um, but I know there's a lot of things. There were people that, things that normal people would try to not to let other people know about themselves. And Tommy was open. He would tell people. He would be proud of the things that he did, and he would talk about his mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
He
Yep.
would always say, like, when what's easy for me to understand Tommy and be with him and support him on the decisions he made, because he told him, he was upfront. He said, I hurt I've I did things that you hurt people in life, and because of that now I have to pay the consequences. And that was the most beautiful thing to me, because not a lot of people say I've done bad things in life. Not like, and I'm not saying bad things when Tommy was a good person, but like choices that he had made.
Right.
And but he was so transparent when it came to that, that made me go like, I accept you for that, because you're not trying to hide nothing from me.
Right. Right. No doubt.
So,
No
and
doubt.
that's why, like now, and because I was willing and open to accept, I was able to have a great relationship with his family. I was able to, be a big part of his life and be there. And like, I remember on that night, the night before he went into coma, he kept waking up at night and say, "Honey, thank you so much for taking such a good care of me." So that was important, and for me, it's like I'm just grateful he was able to. When he passed, he knew that somebody was there 100% for him. That was important, the most important thing to me.
Was it like maybe he sensed that something might happen to him, or was it just something you would say his last words, and you appreciate him appreciating you?
Well, his actual last word to me was, he said, "I love you," and they took him to do that exam. But when here's the thing: a lot of people nowadays, after he passed, and they come back and Vivian, Tommy, they would tell me, Vivian, Tommy really loved you. I'm like, I know. Like, tell me something I don't know. Because with Tommy, you would be like that. He would always tell people, I love you. He'd always let me know that he loved me, and he was, so there was nothing unspoken at all. Um, he would tell people around, and he would tell his family, he would tell, the people we know, the circle that we had, she takes care of me, because I was there for him. So there's nothing like, I that thank you for taking care of me, took with me, because that's what he had for most of the night, because I was there, and there was some things that he needed around, and I made sure I spent the night from the day that I took him there. I did not go home on time to the time that he passed, that Wednesday. I was like, people are like, Vivian, you need to go home. No, I don't need to. I'm going to stay right here. I'm going to sleep on the sofa. I'm going to be here. And that's what I did. But it stuck with me because, like, I know something. It's just like, It feels like my mission in his life was complete. He knew exactly what I was there for, to make sure he knew he was loved, and to make sure he learned how it was to receive. And he had that feeling. And so if he died with that feeling that somebody was giving, and no matter what, I'm good, you
All right,
know.
brother. This is episode 16, Cash Count Podcast, and I think I bugged you enough. Okay, anything you want to clear up? I didn't do my job. I know I had you on for 5 hours and 17 minutes. Anything I didn't ask you about what you got going on, and if you can tell everybody, but people can stay up to date with you, people can check out your projects. Do my job for me, damn it. Don't embarrass me too much.
Well, if people want to be aware and see, follow the things that I do, they can follow my social media. It's Miss Brazil, MS _BRAZIL, Miss Brazil, Instagram, and all the other platforms. Make sure you check it out for my movie, my short film. If I'm in a film festival around your town, make sure you come and you vote for me. But I just think one thing that I was sharing with his two sons the other day is like Tommy was somebody that I truly loved, and I will do the best I can to carry his legacy, to let people know how beautiful and how amazing he was. And that's what I still try to do on his social media page, and just make sure the world knows. And they need to know what he was, and they need to know the amazing things that he had done. Um, Tommy was working on a documentary on the Willie Lynch, not the Willie, on a bully in the African American community before he passed. And the name is Through My Lens. And I really hope they get to air that project because it was dear to his heart. So, but when it comes to me, you just follow me on my social media. There's a lot of things that are gonna be coming in place coming up next few weeks. And just follow me so you can catch up.
How much contact do you have with the cast? Have they reached out as far as the 30-year anniversary? Have since his passing? I know they've been to the funeral and things like that. Have you have any contact as far as them including you in any upcoming programs or specials or?
Well, I will no, they have not contacted me for the 30-year reunion, but from my understanding, his two older children were there. Um, I did last time that I did talk to the cast was at the funeral in LA. Um, but I in Coral Payne, he often will call me and we talk. You know, he will check on me every now and then. But I understand people's lives are busy. I'm not looking for anything like that. As long as they carry his name and with love and prayers, that's all it matters to me. But yeah, I don't. I was not a part of the reunion.
Anything you before we get out of here you want to clear up from your soulmate name? Anything mishaps, misprints, misreports? Anything you want to clear up, man? Not man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You get my point.
Well, the only thing here's the thing. I'm not. I think people will always say things, and things will probably develop in a way that Tommy would not want. Um, the only thing that I can say is that Tommy was a wonderful person. He was in my life for 6 years. He made me very extremely happy. He um, he had a passion for people, passion for young people especially, and to change lives. And the choices that he may have made in life that at the end he wished he had changed some things was, but he understood that was important for him. And he was an amazing father, so he made choices to make sure he was in his children's lives, and that was important to me. That was most beautiful, even though a lot of times it may have hurt me with the way things played. I know he was doing the best to be an amazing father. And I do believe his children now, they see that, and they do understand, because they're at an age that, you know, they can see more.
I know that can be easy. You know you coming, and a lot of people might be looking at you. Oh, she's a gold digger, or she this or that. It's so many rumors and misconceptions out there. So I know that just can be easy in
Yeah,
itself.
and here's the thing. I'm never concerned about what people think of me right now, because, and I'm one thing that you're never gonna see me is gonna be on social media talking about other people. I don't do that. I don't like drama. And maybe that's why Tommy loved me, because I don't
I,
do drama. I don't
I
like
like
drama. I have
that.
no approach drama. I will stay away from arguments. I hate that. So, but his youngest son approached me, and he sent me a message, and I didn't see it until like later, because he sent me a message on Tommy's page. So I saw it almost a week later. Um, but for me to see that now that he's mature, and he understands the love that I had for his father, and to be able to talk to him, to laugh about situations, and that's important to me, because everything, all darkness will eventually come to light. And I try to do like things like Tommy would say, be still and know. Just do the thing, do you, and then life will play along.
Thank you for taking your time to be my guest, to be annoyed by me for 5 hours, about 7 hours and 82 seconds. Thank you. I know Martin fans and Tommy fans would definitely appreciate the honesty and the time you shared on my podcast. How do you want your legacy to be remembered before your eyes close forever? We all have a legacy. We all have a time clock. How do you want to be remembered?
Before I go into me, I just want to say thank you for continue in your way carrying Tommy's legacy. That's what Tommy worked for. And to see somebody that is doing on their own way, and they're bringing up Tommy's name and making sure he's remembered for the great things he did, that's amazing. He would be so happy, and he would be so grateful that you're doing that. So, and as of me, for my legacy, I want people to remember me as somebody who really worked hard to beat the odds. Life has been, I had to do so much to get where I am. And I grew up with almost nothing in Brazil. And I had to come to another country without barely speaking English, and to get here and try to, just because life sometimes it's just like hard. Most of the time in my life, it's just like everything. But I want people to remember me who fought to beat the odds, and who try to make it right for other people. Because that's my thing. If I'm not here to change, to transform other people's lives, to make their lives better, what am I here for? That's why, like, I don't understand when a lot of people, they do bad things to hurt other people. It's like, why? What are you gaining from? So I just want people to, when they think of me, think as somebody that just worked hard to change everything.
But listen, I just want to tell everybody thank you again, episode 16. And I thank you for your time, because you could have said cash. Listen, man, I ain't got time for you. But tell everybody this is the yo, teamwork make the dream work. That is so true. We learned that firsthand building this podcast. Just want to salute each and every one of you that have donated to this podcast. Salute each and every one of you that have had the heart to donate. We just want to say thank you to you as well. You guys have been a blessing to us. So now we want to be a blessing to you. Be a blessing, receive a blessing. Now when you donate to us, you receive a blessing from us. First option, any donation $5 and up, you get to submit any question or any comment, and I will answer your question or address your comment live on an upcoming episode and shout you out. Any donation $10 and up, you get to pick a topic, any topic you want, of an upcoming episode of this podcast. Plus everything in the first option. Any donation $20 and up, get to be my guest on an upcoming episode of this podcast. Plus, everything in the first and second option. Any donation, $50 and up, you get to be a partner in crime. Yeah, you heard me. Partner in crime. You get to co-host an upcoming episode of this podcast. You get to see my notes, her notes, his notes, behind the scenes. You get to co-host an upcoming episode of this podcast with us. Plus, you get everything in the first option, second option, and third option. Can't beat that. And any donation over $100, this podcast belongs to you. Everything is in your hands. From the topic to the guests to the arrangement to the credit. Plus everything in the first option, second option, third option, and fourth option. Be a blessing, you be seen a blessing. Now when you be a blessing to us, be a blessing to you. Send all donations to Cash Up, $, me nothing be us. Giving is living. Help make this podcast #1. We're changing how media is done. News, Cash Cam listeners. You can now take Cash Cam everywhere you go. Never miss an exclusive interview. Now available on all major platforms. Yo, I'd like to say thank you for tuning in to episode 16. Make sure you download this episode and make sure you tell all of your friends and family to do the same. I mean, everybody that have eyes, have a brain, and have a soul. Make sure you download every episode. Episode 17 coming your way. Cash Cam.